Hey guys, what is up? I am back with another weekly reaction review of The Summer Hikaru Died. And from the last episode, episode 3, I did do a double reaction review of episodes 2 and 3. So if you guys want to watch that, it's a pretty lengthy video. But from episode 3, we had it where basically Yoshiki was trying to come to terms. He was going through the 5 stages of grief, and knowing that his best friend, childhood best friend, Hikaru, is officially gone, and that the entity that's taking over Hikaru may have the memories and try to act like the Hikaru that he knew of. It just wasn't him, and you literally saw through that entire episode, like, my boy was contemplating so hard, right? And then it came to the point, it's just like he almost denied everything, like full blatantly denied. And then once he was able to understand, because then Hikaru kind of swarmed him, and I guess he kind of got an insight of how Hikaru was feeling, and then it's just like, you know what, okay, this can go wrong on so many levels. And what's her name? Kabanari, that lady who was telling him that, like, I kind of see where this is going. You know something is happening and you need to stop before it gets worse. Unfortunately, he is doing that. He is going to get closer to Hikaru. And I think I already mentioned before, but the only way this story can end is probably on a very bittersweet note, with all the atrocities and horrors of the supernatural, right? So we'll see how Yoshiki is going to, like, embrace all of this and embrace the new Hikaru that's possibly going to be here to stay for a very, very, very long time. So without further ado, let's get into The Summer Hikaru Died, episode 4. That sounded wrong, bro. Okay. So I guess this entity is not so bad. Not them showing the cat taking a dump. Dang, you look dead like you don't want to sing. Oh, he wanted to arm wrestle. I wonder if she's gonna end up seeing something weird. Oh, so she can hear and see the supernatural. Mmm. Oh. Girlie, you need to go see Yayoi and Ichigo. But the sister stays home, so how you want to wear something to go outside? Yeah, his son is actually gone. No, the ritual went right. It did. Loki. 'You see, this is why I couldn't live in no little rural town because everybody knows everybody. Heck no. Like, everybody gotta know your business. So y'all willfully sacrifice men of that family. 300 years. I'm thinking that's probably got the whole pinky out, the whole big toe out, bro. Fags and one family. Who is it? Mm. So that means the dad didn't have it. Sacrifice. What does it do? Oh, you got separate. Okay. Oh, okay. That's what it make you wonder because it's just like if you have to sacrifice something, what are you guys worshiping? Why are you saying shut up? What's going on? Damaged. What barrier? Oh, so it's supposed to. I'm wondering if that barrier is supposed to keep them trapped. Now he appeared rushing to see where the heck is this. Eh, no. Yeah. Because you want to be viewed as your own. That's why. What happened? Oh, oh, oh no. Oh, that makes sense. The opening kind of alluded to that. Now we can actually see what happened. Dang. Oh, dang. Dang, bro. What's gonna? Is he? Oh no, he's hyperventilating. He was hyperventilating. How are you saying that's freaky? I felt that. Everybody know your business. Oh, oh yeah. They call them disease if you're, part of you're gay or anything like. Ugh, so backwards thinking. Oh, you're a disease because you like same sex. Bro, shut up. Just come. What part of the person is disease, bro? Ugh. Well, you finally see him crying. The one person he thought he could confine in. Yeah, that sounds very ominous. Nope. Oh. Oh. What? That. So, in order to create barriers, you gotta exchange an organ? What type of transplant is this? Oh, no, he's watching them. Oh, no, no, lies. what did, I don't know. Hey, hey, oh, oh. What is more? That's where he slipped. Oh, dang. And that's when it took his body over. So he asks, oh. Okay, so we know something is in the village, right? The barrier is broken simply because the entity that now took over Hikaru is walking amongst them. And the guy that looks like, what's his name from Durabara? If you know his actual name, drop it down. They probably mentioned his name, but I forgot it. Okay, we only know Yoshiki, Hikaru, and Kurabayashi. Okay. Already we see that there are a few characters aside from the guy, the blonde hair, sunglasses guy. Kurabayashi, she can also sense and detect spiritual beings. And then their classmate, who I don't know what her name is, she can too. So several people so far in this series, aside from Yoshiki, are able to sense the presence of spiritual entities, curses, and all of that stuff that's happening in the village. Now, does that mean everybody is, that they have a high aptitude for it? I'm not too sure, because starting with the classmate, right? She was able to hear things, hence why her classmate is just like, oh, you have a high intuition. That does play into it, but she has Ryatsu. She does. Spiritual presence. She does. All right. So she's able to hear, and I guess, how you say, what's that, clear audience, I believe? Because she's able to hear, she can probably end up depicting what the creature looks like. And so she steers clear of it. But because the sound is so grating on the ear, she has to, you see, she puts in earphones, or yeah, AirPods into her ears to block out the sound. In this case for Yoshiki, because he was directly bumping heads, or he came into direct contact with the entity and everything, that's how he was able to depict, like, a lot of strange things are happening. Kurabayashi now, she had to deal with one, and I'm guessing hers is more linked to her spouse, because remember in episode, I believe it was either episode 2 or episode 3, like, she knows exactly what Yoshiki is going through. So something probably similar to her has happened in regards to her husband. And it's kind of scary, because then it's just like, okay, it's only in Hikaru's family where the men had to end up as sacrifices to keep whatever this thing is at bay. And his family has been doing it for 300 years. Now, it does make me question, what is it about Hikaru's family? I believe, what's his name? Indo? Yeah, Indo. What is it about the Indo family that makes them so different from all the other families in the village? And why did they take on the mantle to be the protectors? You know, and then what happens if obviously we can see what happens now, but the thing is just like, how should I go about? Even though Hikaru failed, I'm wondering if, and I'm guessing this is Nanuki, who's just, pretending to be human. Nanuki, why did they have to constantly appease to Nanuki, right? And keeping Nanuki at bay for 300 years. And what does this mean? Is like Nanuki the strongest entity in this entire village? And what happened prior to 300 years? Did Nanuki terrorize, along with other entities, terrorize the humans that were in the villages at the time, or that huge village before they started to break apart, right? That's something that they would have, that now goes into the world building, because if they've been doing it for 300 years to appease Nanuki, right, to keep Nanuki stand back, right, and now Nanuki is literally walking around with Yoshiki and trying to, live life. Or then again, this entity may not be Nanuki, who knows? Or Nanuki doesn't really understand its own identity or presence until it started to try to live life as a human. But the fact that the guy realized, one, the barrier broke, and not only that, what company does he work for that if in order to repair, if the barriers are completely destroyed, that protects the humans in the village from whatever could possibly attack them, right? He has to sell or use one of his organs to do so. What does the company that he works for, who are they? There's so much going on, because just like, okay, this company, how long have they been working for? If they knew about the barrier, how long have they been working for close to the village? Two, if this is Nanuki, Nanuki does seem kind of naive. It has they haven't lived possibly long enough or experienced enough, or then again, it could be just, experiencing what is life like as a human. But it goes to show that Hikaru was the one that called out to Nanuki, or Anuki. He called out to them in his final moments with the dying wish to always be by Yoshiki's side. And Nanuki, oh, that was going my chips. And Nanuki responded to that. So it responded to an Indo. Like, I'm trying to piece the things together so far what we're getting, because this episode kind of like dropped some stuff. It does make you question, like, okay, the Indo family may have to have sacrificed or done the ritual, but does this make Nanuki seem, is Nanuki really malicious in the first place? Because they were doing the ritual and they were gladly doing it to protect the village, but with the way Nanuki is acting, does that really mean Nanuki is not as horrible as you like to believe? And is Nanuki really the one that was actually holding all the others back? Nanuki just needed to be compensated for, its help? I don't know. And then you got several characters that are able to sense the presence. And I mean, Kurabayashi, she's able to swipe the hand and destroy the entity, or whatever, it popped. So people have abilities. They obviously do. And also given the fact that it's a small village and people talking about, like, you can see the undertone, the themes that they have. Obviously, we do know that, or at least I feel like I understand, from my understanding, Yoshiki cares romantically for Hikaru. And to know that they're in a village and people have a very backward way thinking of sexuality and everything, and how they would call people who isn't straight or cishet diseased. you know, because they're different. This also can tie into, like, you know, spiritual beings being different, not of the norm. How do humans deal with it? You know, things that they can't control, right? That also plays. So we do have obviously the supernatural, the horrors, but also when it comes to one's own feelings, how do you go about navigating through that? It feels very foreign. It feels very alien. You know, it's obviously different. We put a negative light on it. Oh, clicked in my head. It's not all that evil. Probably there are some, not to say that, you know, LGBT, but you know what I'm getting at. Probably it was just always there and it just wanted to exist, but we don't allow it to exist. You know, but that's just my thoughts. Like, it's a lot going on. This episode really dropped a lot that it had me to think, and like, I don't want to go into like hour, 2 hour type thing, just trying to figure it out. But manga readers, of course, no spoilers, but do tell me in the comments below on how you felt about this episode, and in terms of like the chapter it adapted from. Did it do good? Did it do bad? Did it explore a little bit more in this episode? If you want to help clarify, help your girl like keep her thoughts in the linear path in a way, do drop your comments down below. If you're anime only, how do you feel about this episode? Did it kind of start to answer certain questions for you? It did for me, but at the same time it opened up a new whole road of questions for me to want answers from. The links are in the description box, so you guys go check it out. And I'm Kimmy Chan, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.